Hello, I'm Dr. Bourgeois.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Schetzsle.
And today we're going to give you, or Dr. Schetzsle here is going to give you a little analogy on physical therapy and kind of the whole process and how it works and how it can help people using video games, interestingly enough.
So one of the questions we get a lot in the clinic with working with patients and working with our people and our friends is just kind of when we're giving them exercises or ways to kind of help treat themselves and allow them to kind of regain everything that they're looking to or get all the function out of the body that they once had. A lot of the times they start asking, well, is this something that I have to do all the time? Is this something I'm going to have to do on a regular basis in order to get back to X, Y, and Z? And I like to use an analogy related to our Super Nintendo here and the cartridges. Here we got Super Mario All-Stars. Awesome game, by the way. And you know, you buy your console, you buy your cartridge, you take it home, you pop it in, boom, you turn the power on, and it works. No issues whatsoever. But as time goes on, things start to happen. It's just a natural progression for kind of going through the times, and you know, some of the things that occurred to the cartridge or the console can affect the way it functions. And so it's similar to physical therapy in that it starts with preventative measures, and then it becomes a matter of modifying and adjusting whatever it is we need to play the game or to play the game of life as best as we want to. So for physical therapy, it might be, you know, doing different types of exercises. It might be seeing a physio for some type of manual therapy to keep things loose. It might be some type of strengthening program that you have to do 3 times a week in order to avoid X, Y, and Z pain, ache, or sensation. Related to the cartridge, it kind of starts with protection. You know, making sure that the dust isn't going to collect in here. So you simply start by here. Boom, keeps the longevity a little bit longer. Same thing for the console. But let's say you just, you know, you weren't having any difficulty playing that game, you weren't having any aches and pains, so you never had this cartridge protector. So you get some dust. As time goes on, the game no longer functions, and what do you have to do? I have to modify what I do in order to play the game the exact same way I used to. You go on and on and on, and that works for a while. It doesn't work forever, and that you'll just learn that it's not just about physiotherapy. That's just kind of how life works. So then eventually, not only do I have to blow in the game, now I have to blow in the console as well. Boom, I can play the game just as when the day I bought it. And then time goes on. What do you have to do now? And then I really have to jimmy the way it's going in here. I can press it in a little different pressure, boom, and I can play the game that I once had. But one of the things is just being aware of the preventative ways that you can kind of help the longevity of both the console and the Nintendo game, but as well as your body. And knowing that, you know, just because something isn't working the way it once was, there are things out there to allow you to get back to how it was. I don't need to go and replace the motherboard in my console here. I don't need to go online and buy a new cartridge, unscrew this and replace it, and then put it back in. Sometimes that will work, sometimes it doesn't. I would much rather stick with what I have and modify it and treat it the way it should be so that I get to function and play this game, or I get the function of my body and play the game of life as long as I possibly can. And that's just kind of the analogy that we like to use for people that are struggling with the home exercise programs we're giving them, or just kind of taking the time to walk them through why you might have to do something completely new or completely modified just to get the same result you were once getting. So I hope that helps kind of demonstrate a little bit of how physical therapy and Super Nintendos work together, and just outlines kind of how you get to where you want to be and how you kind of get to keep what you once had.
Very good analogy.
Any adding thoughts to that, Blaze?
I don't think so. I think it's a very good comparison whenever you're talking about how trying to get your game working properly, right? So it's like the game of life, so how you can get through it and what you have to do to be able to function, right? And I think a big part is knowing what that is to get function, right?
Yeah.
So you need the education, the teaching, and you need the experts to tell you what it's going to take to get that game working properly.
That's right. Good piece. All right. Thanks for watching. If y'all have any questions or comments, just drop them below or reach out to us. Thank you.